Hey there, my name is Luke O'Connell, and today we are going to be taking a look at one of the most infamously lethal family of dinosaurs to have ever lived. These animals were frighteningly well armed and adaptable, but they also provide a fascinating insight into one of the most debated and discussed theories of paleontology. Today, we take a look at the world of the Dromaeosaurs, also known as the raptors. Dromaeosaurids were an extremely successful family of animals, as raptor fossils have been found all over the world in both hemispheres. And while this family consisted of a myriad of diverse species, there were certain traits that each member of this group shared. One of these traits was the presence of feathers on these animals. Many dromaeosaurid fossils show evidence of varying kinds of feathery coating, from short down-like fluff to fully developed feathers. But perhaps the most famous of these traits was the sickle-shaped toe claw that all raptors sported. The exact purpose of this trademark weapon has been debated by scientists for many years. An older theory put forward by paleontologist John Ostrom in 1969 is that this claw would have been used to slash at prey animals, creating deep wounds and disemboweling the animal's victim. However, more recent studies suggest a different function to this apparatus. Paleontologist Philip Manning put forward the idea that this claw would have been used as a hook rather than a blade. And this theory certainly makes sense, as you will hopefully be able to see if my camera decides to focus, that while the tip of dromaeosaurid claws were indeed sharp and pointed, the actual curvature of the claw sported no kind of bladed edge or serrations that would have been needed to make this a slashing weapon. After further tests, it was found that the shape of the claw and the way it would have handled stress from use would have made it ideal for climbing. This adaptation could have allowed these animals to lead an arboreal lifestyle, spending much of their time in the relative safety of the trees. And one particular member of this family took this life in the branches another step further. Microraptor was a tiny species of dromaeosaurid that truly puzzled scientists upon its discovery. The fossil depicted a crow-sized animal with 4 wings, flight feathers covering both its front and back legs. After much debate and study, scientists now believe that this animal could have been capable of gliding between the trees of early Cretaceous China, and the small sickle-shaped claws of this animal would have aided it in climbing up to an elevated position to launch itself from. However, it is still very likely that these claws would have been used as effective weapons. They could have been used to catch prey much smaller than dromaeosaurs, with the animal stamping on its prey like a modern-day secretary bird and using its sickle claw to pin the unfortunate prey item to the ground, rendering it defenseless as the raptor set about eating its quarry. However, while there are many smaller species of dromaeosaurids, the family also had its giants, such as the 6-meter-long Achillobator, the heavy-set North American Utahraptor, and Dakota Raptor, another North American dromaeosaur which was almost certainly one of the most terrifying killers ever to have evolved. These animals were too large to have led an arboreal lifestyle as adults, and had powerful jaws filled with serrated teeth. Studies show that both the toe claws and the front claws of these animals still would have been ideal for clambering. It has also been discovered that the long tails of dromaeosaurids like Dakota Raptor would have provided the animal with excellent balance. Taking all of this into consideration, a theory has been put forward that perhaps these predators could have hunted larger dinosaurs such as hadrosaurs, leaping onto the animal's flank or neck, gripping with all of its claws, and then delivering bites and lethal kicks to the larger dinosaur's vulnerable areas. But even as large and as terrifying as these dromaeosaurids certainly were, they, along with all other raptors, were very closely related to another family of dinosaurs, known as the avian dinosaurs, or more commonly referred to as the birds. The group, or as it's known in paleontological terms, the clade, that dromaeosaurids belong to is the Deinonychosauria. which consists of Dromaeosaurids themselves and one other family of dinosaurs known as Troodontids. This clade was created to include these two families, which are very closely related to birds but are not quite classed as avian dinosaurs. However, recent theories have arisen that suggest Troodontids should in fact be classed as birds. Birds almost certainly evolved from animals like these in the earlier periods of the Mesozoic, and so Dromaeosaurids and Troodontids are often used to illustrate the point that dinosaurs never really went extinct. They simply did what all great survivors do and evolved to survive. And some descendants of the dinosaurs did not simply survive, but evolved into apex predators that dominated parts of the world right up until frighteningly recently. And that is the topic of the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and please do feel free to let me know in the comments if there's any animals or topics that you would like me to cover in a future video. I'm delighted to hear any suggestions. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you've enjoyed it.